This is AV SuperFriends Off the Rails, an almost regularly scheduled open discussion on audio and video in higher education. We'll sound off about our most brilliant ideas, our dumbest mistakes, and everything in between. And because this conversation will almost certainly go off the rails at some point, we'll end up covering just about everything else. And now, the AV SuperFriends. For July 25th, 2025, it's the best sounding and most technically focused podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends Off the Rails, episode number 119. Woo. It's a Friday afternoon, sun shining, the banter is plentiful. We've got traffic on the 2.4 gig band, delays in the Dante lane, and your forecast calls for scattered dropouts and a strong chance of sarcasm. We're broadcasting live across 4 time zones and 14 open browser tabs. I'm Chris Deckner. It's time for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure. I wrote that one this morning.
That was a good one.
The sun's not here. I'm in the middle of a flood.
I don't have sun. I'm down in the basement. Deal with it.
Locked in the basement.
Use your the theater of the mind. All right, so let's
still
say hello
out.
to
It
today's
still
panel
works.
of
It's
AV
right
Super
there.
Friends. With this one.
Play it. Don't close that tab.
So today I'm joined by. Whoops, I mistyped that. See, I already screwed it up. Sorry. He specializes in coaxing reluctant firmware into updating without breaking the device or summoning a vengeful ghost from the mysterious service port. He's a senior firmware whisperer from Kansas City. Say hello to Jamie Reinhardt. Good commentary. Our next contestant is responsible for renaming laptops to mobile collaboration nodes in all documentation and requesting a raise on that basis alone. He's a director of Endpoint Reimagination from Corvallis, Oregon. Say hello to Mark Kolowazinski.
The collaborative nature of these endeavors and the data we are gathering from this change, Chris, has been truly transformative.
Sounds made up. But it sounds like a director. Our next contestant has seen things you people wouldn't believe. Fiber optics on fire off the shoulder of the head end. He's watched panels glitter in the dark near the 6RU mark. All those moments logged in ServiceNow. He's a technician level 7 out of 5 from Greensboro, North Carolina. Say hello to Larry Darling.
Were they logged as incidents or as problems?
Both of those buttons go to the same place. By the way, that was a
These were requests.
that was a deep cut Blade Runner reference. I don't know if anyone got. So
I did not get that. I thought the 6RU mark was a short joke, so I was leaving it alone.
Sorry. And our final contestant, he ensures all systems have a backup of the backup's backup stored in a forgotten IDF that no one dares enter since the 2012 POE unpleasantness. He's a vice president of Infrastructure Assurance Redundancy from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Say hello to Mr. Justin Rexing.
Where am I?
Bowling Green.
It says I do risk management and redundancy planning and infrastructure assurance, but not insurance, but assurance.
Assurance.
What are you
AI
talking about?
says that.
You just have to tell me it's going to work, man.
Ask AI what your title means?
Yeah, and then it says
The title
would
that I
you-
made up out of buzzwords, you're now looking up to see if it's a real title.
It is.
Of course.
And then it says, would you like me to draft an example job description for this
Yes!
title?
Yes.
And my next response is, yes.
Of course.
And
you
then
So
do.
it
you're
says-
taking my nonsense, putting it into AI, and
You're
AI
poisoning the well, my
is
friend.
now
You are
just coming up with
poisoning
more
it.
nonsense.
I report to the CIO or the CTO. I have a whole job summary. I need 12 plus years experience in IT infrastructure.
Can you get a salary range on that?
Yeah, I want a salary.
Oh shit! It needs a CISM and an ITIL. I'm not qualified.
So what you're saying is you're not
PMP.
qualified for the job you don't have.
Seems
Yeah.
fishy.
Well, that's
correct.
good then.
Well, if anyone out there is a vice president of Infrastructure Assurance Redundancy, please write in and let us know what you do.
Yeah,
and
I
how
want
much
your
you
pay
get paid.
range. Yeah, pay range, what certifications and credentials you have, because we have a young aspirational one here in our midst.
Oh my God! System uptime of 99.999. I don't know about that.
That's easy. You just have more systems that don't do anything, and you use those metrics to offset the ones that fall.
Disaster recovery. That sounds difficult.
That
I
means
don't know.
reboot after power outage. It's literally all that means. I'm not kidding you. That's what it means.
Redundancy coverage of 100%. Jesus Christmas.
You could do it. If any one of us could do it, it's
So
you, sir.
on today's show, we're going to discuss cloud services and fee structures and how that fits within higher ed. And we're going to
terrific.
discuss how we decide when it's time to remove some outdated features from our systems. But first, It's not the news, it's some housekeeping. So let's see. I do want to bring up our latest artworks. We're trying to do this each time. So on our last episode, we just published the other day. The artwork was of a man working in the... Yeah, he was a plumber.
He was out there data plumbing.
He was putting pipes.
He was
laying
plumbing
conduit.
irrigation pipes into trenches. He was laying these irrigation water transport systems in a
Laying some
trench.
pipe.
There you go. And then for those of you who did not, and of course I closed that tab already.
Don't close that tab.
Too many tabs open. For those of you who didn't read the show notes of our last episode, we do always have a whole bunch of additional show titles that we don't
What
use.
was that title, Chris? That was a
So
fun
the title that we did go with was "Your Processors Are Freeballing It."
How did we do that? That was so stupid.
I'm glad
Why
I
would we
missed
do
that
that?
show.
It was your
We did
fault.
that? We
it
put
was
our
your
title-
fault.
Idea. It was
Yes.
Larry's
It was
idea.
I didn't say that.
No, it was
my
your
words,
idea.
your idea.
It wasn't my idea.
Oh,
Did I
you were
say
just-
it in jest? It was
No.
like, hey, it wouldn't be funny if. And then you're like,
You
yeah,
were
let's
saying
do it.
you were all the restrictions on your network except for your processors, and Mark said so your processors are freeballing it.
But your digital signages are on.
Digital signage is
No,
locked
I'm asking
down.
who decided to make that the show title. I didn't.
It took a group of us working together.
It was a
sir.
group effort.
Yeah.
It was voted upon.
So the and then we did use for the show notes we did use laying pipe, which was Justin's comment early on.
That was PG, by the
It
way.
was very PG. It's just a man out there working in the fields.
Outstanding.
And then our
Too.
alternate show titles we didn't use Mercantile Exchange, Mercantech,
So stupid.
Action Cam by Mattel. I actually drugged Larry, the Hypocrite Hour. Just slap that OS on there and call it a day. I want to play a game called Devil's Advocate. You don't have a choice. Random ass manufacturers. We don't worry about warranty. This story's intense. There's no wall mount. And at some point, I don't actually care. So
That was a
last
very
one.
good summary of the entire show.
that's how that show went.
Broke it down.
So.
Oh,
Anyway, so before we start this episode, if you are listening to this as a recording, please know that we do stream live most Fridays at about 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, or whenever we get our act together and get started. You can join us for that live on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. And we might take your calls if I get
One
around
day.
to it.
if you don't
I need to
close
fix
that
that,
tab.
get that working again.
Yeah, get that tab.
If you can't join us, please do follow us on the socials. We're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, and YouTube. Just search for AV SuperFriends. We are not that hard to find. Please share the show. Tell your friends, coworkers, enemies, the guy driving your rideshare around, whoever. And bonus points if you can get somebody hooked on the show against their will.
The guy who's out there fixing your plumbing in your yard. Tell
The
him.
guy who's out there laying pipe right now. Either way. If you want to support us, there's a donation link in the show notes or at avsuperfriends.com. Every little bit helps keep the lights on and keep the nonsense flowing. If you have a topic idea, hit us up via email at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com or on those same socials. Please leave a rating and review for us wherever you find us on your favorite podcast platform. It does help move the show around in the algorithms and forces more people to get exposed to our nonsense. And finally, thank you for being here. We do appreciate everything you do, especially Larry. Now,
Mostly Larry.
Wait, we appreciate what Larry does, or Larry
Yeah.
appreciates all the people?
Larry appreciates.
Or Larry appreciates what we do.
Larry's depreciating
I
the cost of
Larry's
the show on his
depreciating
taxes.
You appreciate what I do,
5
but
years.
not me as a person, and I feel
Up,
very
appreciate-
judged for that.
All right, so let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and then we're going to yell
We're gonna
about
get into it. Yeah.
the news.
The news.
So, I didn't tell you. Jamie, this is the one you have to run the video for. Does
Yeah.
that help?
Sure.
I don't know. You always ask. I forget to tell you. Not that one. See?
That comes after the news.
The AV SuperFriends are sponsored by Computer Comforts Incorporated. CCI has been building tech furniture for the education market since 1987. Fixed it Instructor lecterns, computer lab tables, collaborative tables, and active learning clusters are just a few of the many innovative products made by CCI. Speaking of lecterns, Computer Comforts has just released Evolve. If you're looking to future-proof your classroom, Evolve is the Swiss Army knife of lecterns. Seriously, this flexible lectern does it all. Not only is Evolve sit-to-stand and ADA compliant, it's also packed with tech-friendly features. And the best part, it ships fully assembled and ready for action. Check out the 90-second video to see all the options. Visit computercomforts.com/evolve.
That wasn't in
Tell
the
me,
notes.
this is a multi-dollar
Production
operation.
B team.
Yeah.
We are.
For sure.
We are well.
The layoffs are hitting
coordinated.
us hard here. We
We are planned. We've got
staff-
it going.
Well,
Nobody
there
We
was
lost a
some,
lot of government grants lately.
and there was a tariff on the button clicking.
Yeah, it's rough.
If those 27 people who used to work in my department weren't laid off, we'd have this figured out. So, or I just dragged it into the wrong slot and ran the wrong thing. But
I'm quiet quitting. That's what's happening.
I already did.
started
I don't
rage
like
applying
that,
on the
Jamie. I
show.
like rage applying Jamie.
That's coming. Oh man.
All right.
All right, now that we've done that, and you waited for it for it's been like 2 weeks. No, it was a week. I don't know. It was since
What?
our last show. It's been a week.
We just
I don't
did a show like yesterday.
I'll
I mean,
believe
we're not just
whatever
seeing you
wanna say.
bozos like
Yeah, just go for it.
Whatever.
That
Let's
was
do the
Wednesday.
news.
yeah.
And today's news comes from a couple different sources. We have a link from AV Interactive, AV Magazine, and Rave Pubs, and it's all about the same thing. It's an entire article that says nothing and doesn't provide any information about what's actually happening. It sounds good on paper and looks good in a title, but we don't know what's going on, but everyone is talking about
Sounds
it.
like I know.
I'm
I'm really glad
glad.
you said that because I read each article multiple times trying to figure out exactly what was going on, and I had no idea. So
But it's growing. Whatever
Yeah.
it is. Tell us what it is.
Do you
It's a
ever
lot of
watch
news.
one?
There's like every website's got something on it.
Everyone's talking about it, and here
I'm
it is.
glad I didn't read it. So fill me in.
Well, it
So here's
doesn't
the
say
headline.
anything.
All right, here's a headline. The Open AV Cloud Initiative
Oh, this
recruits
shit.
24 new members.
Yes.
So
They did.
More of them involved in whatever this thing is to do stuff.
Open
so-
AV.
You know what we need to do? Oh, time out. Whoa.
Can we invest?
We're joining. I'm
We
gonna figure it out
are
right
going
now.
to create our open AV platform, and we're going to write some stuff and then put it on a Raspberry Pi, and then we're going to sell it. AV SuperFriends
That would be
Raspberry Pi
something.
control system.
We could
See-
point to what that was, and this is what we accomplished. I don't know. What
That's
this is.
tangible. We would be that far ahead of.
Doesn't need to be tangible. This
I mean,
is
kind of.
non-tangible.
Yeah.
Are you not?
And
Are
it's-
we?
and the first question: if you just do a Google Open AV,
It
the
doesn't even
list
come up with
of
this.
things that come up is
Well, it's, I think
ridiculous.
the full org is Open AV Cloud, but
It's cloud, yeah,
fundamentally,
exactly. But they're-
again, it sounds great on paper. Hey, we've got too many different standards. Let's all agree on one and use that.
Amen.
Is
That
that, ever going to
sounds-
happen? No. The last time
No.
the last time that happened, I would argue, is PJ Link in the 80s.
PJ Link. in
See,
the
I-
80s.
It almost
I'm
worked.
not 100%, I'm still
use
not
PJ Link all the time.
100% sure. All I know is it's a global initiative for an open cloud connected AV industry.
Sounds great.
However they go about doing that, and this is the future of AV, is open, right from their
What is-
website, right?
What
And
does
so you don't,
open mean to them?
as I put on my
Mind your business.
my goggles and look through this, it's API, right? It's
Yes.
opening up the API so things can communicate with one another.
Fundamental.
That's
That's
where
it.
things
that's,
are
that's
going
what
anyway.
it is, right? So
But how
That's
many of these are
where-
just going to take existing SNMP commands, wrap it in this, and be like, done?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
as many as
not-
possibly can, as much as they can do to say they're a part of it with the least amount of work possible is
There
what's
you
going to
go.
happen.
Okay. Did any of you actually join this website?
I haven't read it. I just told you.
Like I went to the
haven't
website
joined
to
it,
find more
especially.
information, like the actual Open AV
I
Cloud
gave him a credit
website,
card.
and they list all their
It was
supporting casts.
Jamie's credit card.
And then, well, then you didn't apply because you would have got declined. But like there's nothing to it. So I didn't
you
know
do
if
anything?
you get through the sign up thing, do you get more?
You got a T-shirt.
And so
You get to download something.
Oh, you
join it
download
while we're
something.
talking.
I mean, I think the
just- we'll
idea
just put it on-
sounds nice.
Well, I think
But
I
you
think
know,
we're all
free
on board with the
money
idea.
from Sony sounds nice too, but we're not getting that either.
I mean, the concept is good, and that's where things need to go. But I think we all recognize that the industry is so immature and then everybody's got their own sandbox, and it's just it's a shit show, and that it's going to be so. What's the motivation for everybody to just, like we just talked about, to jump on this bandwagon? Because money motivates. Where's the money? That's behind
customer
this,
first.
Right? I mean, it's
that's their initiative, committing to giving our customers the flexibility and freedom to choose by ensuring a seamless integrated AV experience across different brands and platforms.
Sounds
But
great.
you know what I don't see in any of this?
Sounds great.
Any of the big Tronisuses of the world in this
I was
list
about to
at
make
all.
the same point. Like anybody you currently use to do what they're talking about
it's
isn't in
not
there.
doing this.
And Yeah.
So that's a let me read through who's on here because they just signed up more new people. But Adobe, AppSpace, Atlas ID, Avacor, Blue Sound, Bose, Clear One, Legrand, Mercantech, NetSpeak, Ocno, Planar, Point Grab, Sharp, Symmetrics, TechVox, and Yamaha.
Legrand.
And see,
so
I don't
that's
know
like
if it's
what, like audio too. Like, what does that mean?
Why not?
Is
Yes,
that, or is
all
that
of them.
just?
Yes,
Put it
they
in
said,
there.
they said
All of it.
all the Legrand, the appropriate Legrand. So not wire mold. Wire mold not part of this. But
Mid-Atlantic?
But Middle Atlantic is.
Has open APIs for their racks now. That's great.
Well, for
for
their
power,
For their rack
distribution.
links.
I know. I'm just.
But I don't necessarily
don't
know
have
if
an
this is a
IP-enabled
control
rack?
thing, though. You do.
I don't.
Somewhere.
So
And that's the industry response.
yeah,
I just. What is it? What is it gaining me? That's
What? An IP-enabled rack?
Dude,
No,
you
damn
can
it.
monitor
Like the
that from the
whole-
cloud.
We're going back
Your
to the
rack
real
has 3
conversation.
spaces open. Awesome.
Back to what we were talking about.
What?
I think we're talking about we don't have any answers to any of this.
No, it's a very ambiguous kind of a thing, right? And so it doesn't really say this is what we're going to do, this is what we're solving, but we got a lot of people jumping on board, and you're probably going to want to get on board because we're going to be the next big thing.
Can we talk to
I
one of
guarantee
these
you we're going to
manufacturers?
be the next big thing because we're
They're going to be as big
customer-focused.
as SDVOE.
Yes, if not bigger.
Where did that go?
They're part of
I
this.
haven't.
It's still there. Well, remember when AVB started? It's going to be an industry standard. It's a network standard.
It's an
You
open
know what I heard this
standard,
morning?
Jamie.
It's an open
You know what I
standard,
heard?
and all these people jumped on it, and we have, Biamp, right?
And some car manufacturers.
Yeah.
Bringing up the
Mercedes
past here.
Benz and a couple
yeah.
other companies. Yeah, they were in.
Bringing up the past here. You know what word I heard this morning? A little off subject. The
What?
metaverse. Remember that shit? Remember that when that
This
was all
is
supposed
all the metaverse, Justin.
This
We never
is
left.
the metaverse.
Yes.
to be? Remember that?
This is quite literally the underpinning of how the metaverse
It's like
is
right
gonna
after
work.
COVID. Anyways,
Anyway,
I'd just like to see some more. Give us
Details?
an example of what this is supposed to be.
show us a real world system.
I mean, Zeit
Well,
is tried, right? They have.
Well, I
some
think when
examples
we
on
get to
their
the
page,
next
yeah.
topic of what we're going to talk about, I think it starts to play into that. And I think the API is the center of this conversation, and things
more
speaking the same
people-
language so that the data backend can be aggregated up into the cloud. Blah, blah, all the
am I
acronyms
wrong?
and stuff you want to hear me say, and cloud and service and all that stuff. That's what this is, right? This is the underpinning of
VR.
that.
You
And
forgot VR.
sure.
Am I
Put
wrong
it
in
in there.
saying that most people are moving towards an open API platform for control? I mean, I'm seeing that on
People? Are you saying most people?
manufacturers.
Most manufacturers? Well, I don't know.
The ones I'm buying are. They're like, oh, yeah, we got to know.
But what are you controlling it with outside of the remote control without a button on it
Another control system with open API
that is not open?
Another
No, it's not.
Well,
remotes all the way down.
So
yes
it's
and
easy
no,
for
it
like
can be,
it's
depending on
easy
your
for
manufacturer.
for-profit control manufacturers to program against an open API. They don't give a shit. You're still bought their thing, right? And so, what is it that you say you do here then?
But a lot of and that's where I'm really confused here because a lot of those APIs are already produced. A lot of them are now. If they're starting to merge them so that all displays are the same API instead of everybody has their own
That's
flavor.
not going to happen.
That's not
okay,
going to
okay,
happen,
okay,
though.
Like Chris's point earlier, PJ Link, right? But
See,
it'd be great, wonderful, awesome. So now we could take any old website, any old Python code, and just throw in your. But you kind of can now.
If you're willing to put the cycles in and do the conversions,
And depending on what you want it to do, I'll tell anyone how you want to do it. I mean, I am driving old and like 10-plus-year-old Crestron chassis with QSys control because I can write those commands to it. But
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm
not
saying.
like it's a fully built-out API. It's just kind of like it'll do it, but
So I'm just looking for them to kind of So you use the buzzword open, you use the buzzword cloud, and you threw in AV, and then there's nothing.
but I think that's the weird part of the industry and our identity here, right? As I'm just going to paint a broad brush, AV folks looking at this through the AV lens, we're coming at it from like control and blah, blah, blah. Enterprise-wide, if you're managing fleet, you have a bunch of endpoints, things like that, you just want open data so you can quickly integrate into your reporting or your
That's
cloud
two
structure.
different
Thanks.
conversations.
They are two different things, but however, the engine that's going to enable both of those capabilities is going to be very similar. And so when you start scrolling through this, you'll start to see a lot more people that are speaking about it are on the cloud management and like the fleet management and getting that data of how customers and clients are using their stuff at large. People aren't saying, I need this old widget to talk to that old widget so I can manage the button press in between. That's not what this is.
But we still need to talk to that old widget to get the said data.
Exactly.
Certainly.
And that's all. That's what I want to see. I want to see like what are we actually trying to do with this besides just saying that we have a vision? Great, you have a great vision. You got some really big names in this list. I mean, even the founding members, Panasonic and Shure and Sony. I mean, these are some big things. But what do you really? Give me a little bit more to this, and maybe it's coming. Maybe I'm just naive.
What do you want it to do? If it could do anything you could dream of, what would you want it to do?
I have no right there. That's it. I don't know.
You don't even know if you want it.
What does this thing live on? Another computer?
Well, it's cloud.
It lives on the cloud, Justin.
Lives in the metaverse, bud. It's in the metaverse. Yes.
Okay, so everything needs to be connected to the metaverse.
It's in the cloud.
So that's passing our network security.
I want to see.
It's good for that. It has a heck that.
Think of it like your digital signage. You know, those stuff you have that connects to the cloud.
If it's all driving towards a similar, like command set, a similar code set so that way you can, no matter who's you put in there, you can collect the data that you need.
Metric data.
Great. Now I can figure out how to use it. But right now it's just like, well, here's some names and here it's on the cloud. Like, okay, but
does it need to be anything other than that?
What else? I mean, all my stuff's already that way.
So how many here by a raise of hands actively go out and seek for all their products that they have to support the newest firmware to make sure that the manufacturers are adhering to network security protocols and updating things as soon as it comes out and making sure that's the top of your priority?
Yeah,
I got private island, so no.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm fucking talking about. Like this isn't where
if it was all on the
manufacturers
cloud, we wouldn't have to do that.
It's not IT. These manufacturers don't act like IT manufacturers. They don't keep up with their answer to that problem is buy our new product.
To be fair, they have updated all the firmware to the most recent necessary security fixes on their newest products. That one from last year gets nothing.
No,
so it's
we shipped all those.
I think
we've already shipped them. We're done.
Yes.
We
don't
don't
even
have them anymore.
I don't even see with them that they have some direction. Like to Mark's question, what would you like it to do? What are they even offering?
But isn't this where you have to start though?
No, you have to start with the vision of what it does.
No, but
figure
like
out how to get there.
what you're all kind of saying is like
doesn't?
you don't think any of these manufacturers are IT mature enough to be handling all this kind of stuff to begin with,
I'm saying that.
right? And
Yeah,
so,
that's not
but
all.
wouldn't
No.
you want some consortium that kind of brings validity and maturity and say, hey, we're all willing to at least walk in the same direction and see things the same way?
It's a start.
It's a start, right? And I think
start.
that's really what this is about. It's like, hey, we have people like, yes, we're committed to doing things together and hopefully seeing the world the same way.
Well, no, I
what
wouldn't say
happens
that
to
much.
it, we don't know.
I think
We're all
it's people
doing it
saying,
wrong, so let's do it wrong together.
I just know
If that's what it means. That's what it means.
fair
I
enough.
just know how these manufacturers think. And we've all talked about this behind the scenes, how glued they are to selling boxes.
What's it going to take for you to buy
That's
nothing
the
but this box
first-
for the rest of your career, Justin?
I mean,
Would you be interested in flipping all your stuff to this box?
We have news for you.
What if I gave you a
We won't
squished
send you the box, but we have our own box that you're going to rent a little bit
coffee
of.
mug with your name on it?
This sounds very secure on my network.
Well, it's not on your network. It's on somebody else's
But it's
network,
got to
so
be
don't
if
worry
it's
about
open
it.
AI
This isn't
cloud
on your
stuff
network.
and-
It's in the cloud.
in the
Justin.
cloud, yeah.
Don't worry
It's in
about
the
it.
cloud.
Wow.
You're thinking about it the wrong way. This is on the cloud.
I feel like
Just
I'm,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Your
have,
feeling is warranted, and it is the way you should be feeling. So
I'm exhausted. I don't have time for this conversation today.
that's relevant.
Yeah.
Those are honest feelings. I'm glad you're being vulnerable with us.
It's
today,
exhausted.
Justin.
Just exhausted with you all.
Well,
Tell you
anyway.
what, why don't we take a quick break?
Yeah,
We'll see where this goes.
We'll see where this goes. 'Cause This is
yeah.
going to play into the larger conversation.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll think about something that's not related
Just
to cloud
as-
services. No. We'll go with something that's a little more physical, a little more tactile. We'll hear from one of our sponsors, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how to make all this cloud crap work.
We are?
Yes, hold on to your butts.
God.
Are you tired of those outdated digital signage displays cluttering up your campus? Do you wish there was a way to keep your events fresh and exciting month after month? Introducing independent amalgamated analog digital signage. the only service that delivers brand spanking new informational posters right to your doorstep every single month. It's the beginning of the month, and what do you get? A shiny new poster with all the latest event details ready to dazzle your colleagues. Not only will our posters keep your events looking fresh, but they'll also keep you on your toes. Because our posters are printed weeks in advance, the information may not always be correct. But hey, who needs accuracy when you've got style? With independent amalgamated analog digital signage, you'll never have to worry about boring clip art, stock video footage, and converted PowerPoint files again. Join the madness today and watch your workplace transform into a poster paradise. Independent amalgamated analog digital signage. Because who needs accuracy when you've got style?
I put all my posters in the cloud.
That one just gets better with age for some reason. I don't know why that one just
like
feels better. Yeah.
Especially since I've been arguing with people about digital signage this week. Put a poster on the wall.
Yes.
How do you
Yes.
argue about digital signage?
Yeah, so we have a new building opening, and their biggest concern is what's going on those displays for the grand opening.
Not
And I
our
already told
concern.
them-
That's you to
Well, I
create
know,
your
but it's going to be
content.
me because no one else will do it, and it's going to be.
I see Christmas pictures in your future.
No.
Chris.
I'm going one better. Here's a ping of the university logo on a thumb drive that is going to get run around. We're going to plug it in every one of them. That's what you get until you guys get off your butts and figure it out. So
That's a strategy.
Yeah,
I like it.
I've had the same. Not that conversation. Mine was, hey, we got a new construction, and the signs have to be up on the first day of school, but the actual insets where they want the signs won't be done
Oh,
until
gross.
September. Like, so
Inset signs are the worst.
you want me to? Yeah, and one of them is 86-inch inset, 4
And
inches
always
into
will
the
be.
wall.
and
For
the
digital
recess they're
signage.
cutting is 86 1/4 inches.
You get
Yes.
1
So
quarter
you got to get,
around that
like
thing.
a paint
Yeah.
scraper in there.
Yeah, and I'm just like, well, we can, but you probably should finish sanding the drywall first.
I need to know the exact dimensions of that technology 4 years in advance, Jamie, so we can make sure the drawing's
Yeah.
Well, it
correct.
has like, what's the screen? You already bought it.
You
it's
make
sitting right
for
there.
those for
Oh,
those
that one?
consultants out there. When you're making a recess in a wall for a TV, make it 2 inches bigger on every side, and if people don't like that
No,
look,
no.
put a frame around it.
You make the recess big enough for your corpse, so that's where we can bury you.
That's
I'm on
fine.
team AV
There's
does
a
not need
right
to
way
recess
to-
anything.
There,
Recess.
yes, you do. You have to in ADA hallways for yes. I mean, it has to have some
Put
kind of
shit below us.
accommodation.
Put a bookcase down there.
Put it
screw
over a
to the
water
wall.
fountain.
That's the other option. And when they say
it
no,
above the
then
water
you have to
fountain. I like
recess it. So it's sometimes. Anyway,
Some crimes go
There's
so
a way
far.
to do this correctly, so
Yes.
it's not that
Is there?
bad.
It's
Yes.
usually not the way that it's done.
It's a poster.
Yeah, but-
Please
Yeah, you
see
do it
the
this way,
ad we
Justin.
just did.
Are you tired of those outdated digital signage?
That's
Hire
how you do it
me,
correctly.
hire me, and I'll show you how to do it.
Oh, yeah. God.
Here we go.
That's
So like
you
just
didn't
told
pay
how to
for
make
that
money on
ad.
this.
You did
Jiminy
not. I don't
Christmas.
like this.
Slid that one in, didn't I?
That was dirty,
Just go to openavcloud.com and okay. All right.
and they'll fix it.
So for our topic one.
Talk. Hot takes. Topic 1 starts now.
What was the past topic? Was that topic 0?
Was the news.
was the
That's the
news.
news.
Come on, man.
Remember that? You want that one too?
You introduced the thing.
It's this one. So,
Well, I know. I just topic
All right.
one. Anyways,
so
We
for
already-
topic,
we already
for
had
topic
this
one,
discussion.
this is now topic one. For topic one, we posited this on how sustainable or how does it fit within higher education for all of these cloud services. There are many of them out there. There are many more every day. So I look forward to the Open AV Cloud creating more cloud services to subscribe to. But they all want to bill you like per system, per box, per connection, per device, per whatever,
Whatever they can.
per month. Per
day,
building,
hour,
per
shit,
week,
whatever
per hour, per
What the
bit
market will
uploaded.
bear. Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
And that lets them give you a low. It's only $8 per. Yeah. Well, I have 600 spaces. Oh wait, it's per device, and in each of my 600 spaces, I've got 10. So I've got 6,000.
But they all have
devices?
some trick. Well, you could, if you did it like this, and you organize your things like this, then it only counts as like one room. And it's like, why? Like, I don't want to like cleverly align my data ecosystem to trick your billing department. Like that's not the goal here.
so this shit creates a lot of overhead.
Right.
And that's when we're trying to keep track of monthly billing at universities, that's very difficult. And we're going to ask, hey, can you wrap that up in a year in June, July around our fiscal year, something of that nature, right? It's going to, so if you don't adapt your billing and you're not flexible on it, kiss that goodbye.
So
that's
I
rule
think-
number one.
I think there's a lot of desire in the industry kind of at large to get their arms around how the hell to even go about billing for this kind of stuff.
That's
Because it's new-ish enough, but adjacent enough to feel like it's not. Because you're kind of doing these things anyway, but now it's like the move to cloud, right? And so we're going to take this thing that you do here, move it to the cloud. And what do we need to bolt onto this thing to be able to start billing you for this?
If you can do an enterprise license, it'll work. Other than that, there's no way I can segment my billing in such a way that the music department pays this for their rooms.
That's difficult.
The Bryan or our business school pays this for their rooms. I've got to be able to say, okay, this adds this value to the university, to our service group, and as such, I can pay for the tool on an enterprise level to watch everything. Otherwise, there's no way.
It's like email, right? Oh, well, we're going to charge you per email per person per what? And then why don't you just charge me for the whole system per year? Figure out what that profit is you need, and then we'll see if it's worth buying.
I don't think it is going to. I will go out on a limb and I will speak for higher ed at large here.
What?
The value proposition is not going to be there to just lift and shift current capabilities to the cloud.
Absolutely not.
It's not
I
going to be
thought-
there.
What did we just talk about last segment in the news?
Well, are you going to pay for capabilities you have right now
I can
that you
think
do
of
not
that,
pay
Mark.
for just to move them
Mark,
to the cloud? Yes.
It will put a green or a red, or if you pay more, a yellow light next to the name of your room.
like caution, slow
Correct.
down, yellow.
But is that just a new purchase of current capabilities? Like what opportunity? How
I was gonna say,
does
is
this
that
align
worth
with
any
anything?
value over what I have
what is
now?
it doing?
No, it
right.
is not.
Right. Okay, so I think we've said that before. That's not new. We've kind of come to the table and said we're not going to pay for red light, green light. No additional value. So
Also
if
yellow light.
and yellow light for the premium package that you're
that's-
you're putting out there. Yes.
And that's one of the reasons I said, like, I tied it with my support side, because if one of these platforms that are cloud-based, whatever, ties into my service now, now there's some value, because now my asset management and
Yes.
all is already integrated. It rather than the red light, green light, it can launch.
But
incidents.
how much value?
Not enough to justify.
6.
Is it allowing you faster response to classrooms? Yes or no?
Nope.
Larry says yes. Jamie says no.
Maybe.
It depends on how awesome your AI tool is, and it solves its own problems.
Well,
It's not
even
to solve
talking
it.
AI.
Yeah, we're not even talking
AI.
about it. Just, but is it leading? Is it leading to?
It's part of that. It's,
Is it leading to more student success? Yes or no?
If it's tied to
Maybe.
our service now, there is a possibility it could. Otherwise, no.
Okay. Does it give me visibility into assets and health and status?
maybe.
Possible.
When you say
okay.
ask-
Okay.
So you ran by a couple of things there that
Okay, go ahead. Health of a
pick-
digital asset.
Yeah, we may need to take a step back here because a lot of these will do things. They'll
forward.
do asset management, inventory tracking, that sort of thing.
Yes.
I'm not taking a step forward. It's taking a step back. Well, now we're
Sideways.
taking a step forward.
Let me meet you halfway.
Let's take a step back. Take a step forward.
If
And
we
now we're
go to
cha-cha.
the left twice and to the
was a real
right
genius move.
once, now we got a good old fashioned hoedown.
Don't
Holy-
ever interrupt me in the middle of the hoedown. All right.
Go back.
So some of these will do things like, Mark, what you were getting into, device monitoring, whatever that means, but they use that phrase a lot, device monitoring. Some will get you, asset management. Some will get you inventory. Some will get you like their own lightweight help desk. By the way, manufacturers, you can stop that right now. Please stop. As Larry said, we all have an enterprise help desk, as good or terrible as it may be,
We're stuck with it.
but we're
No, we
using
can't
that.
make that decision. Yeah, we have no
Yeah.
choice in shifting a
So
a
please don't
service
start
desk. Like,
spin
that's
up
not gonna
another
happen.
one. It doesn't get me anywhere.
Please
Some will do,
please use the open APIs we discussed in the first segment to get your data into whatever service
that-
now or whatever else is. If you're
that
not doing that,
is-
start over.
That's valid.
Yes.
That
well, and I
is-
think where the real promise of these things comes from is not necessarily that API, or that is definitely a bonus to be able to share that data out, but is to get that data status of the different devices in a room. As I said, we all have whatever our room is. It's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 devices on the network. It's the ability to then reference status and not just the on-off status, but like detailed status of these devices in concert with the other devices in the room to now proactively identify potential issues or things that are going on or
Predictive
that sort of
maintenance.
thing. Yes, preventive maintenance, but predictive,
Predictive
is a good,
maintenance,
Predictive
yes.
is a good way to phrase it, because I said it wrong. Predictive is a good way to phrase it, because yes, it will look at that pattern and say every night at 6 a or every night at 3 a.m. the Dante stream from all your mics drops for like 4 minutes. There's something going on there, and so that lets you start to kind of dig into things and figure out what's going on. Whereas that thing will show online all day long. It's still green, job done. And that's the response we get from a lot of, kind of the traditional, what was the Dilbert suspenders system admin guy, where he'd be like, it shows green on my end, it's fine. It's like, well, there's a lot more going on than simple online, offline status. And for these to be able to dig into that through an open API or SNMP or other such methods, and then be able to collate that data with the other devices in the room, that's where the real value comes in.
Right.
Collate.
It has to be completely connected, right? And I think if you pause for a moment, I believe when we talked about the news segment, that was the intent of what's going on there. It is the foundation. I'm making that assumption, but that's the only way I can see the value in that.
That's
and
weird,
this.
because that's what I was asking, is to correct that assumption.
Larry, you need that on a mug.
And that's okay.
Like, please just put me that in there.
I'm giving me the benefit. I guess I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
You're-
Or I'm giving myself benefit of the doubt
I'm
and
giving
themselves.
myself the
yes. And
benefit that I'm
I
wrong.
hope that looking at through this world, because as we've all said, we are seeing this trend, right? And so in the current state, we can't get there. There's no way. And so there has to be some level of kind of baseline to get us
That's
there.
what I've been saying. You
Right.
all been riding my ass about it.
And you're just trying to bill people for things. Come on. Now.
Yeah, seriously.
Build now.
No,
Anyway,
Well, we haven't even got to the financial side of things. Which
no,
is
we
the other
no.
challenge.
So, but that's the key. It's like I think we have these core things where like, well, if it doesn't even do this, I can't even begin to validate any cost on it, because I'm not going to just add what I can currently do now, like, and just pay for the cloud, right? So
And
how am I going to
think
get there?
So many of these services that are trying to be offered to us
Mm-hmm.
are primarily that company's thing, and you might be able to include other things. Well, they say you can. That's fine. Great. One of the arguments that what Larry and I were talking to one group, and one of my questions was, well, but even at the red light, green light, even if it shows an error, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not working.
Yep.
Now,
Right.
there's a communication problem that maybe has to be fixed.
But is the user affected?
But is the user affected? Did it
No.
really trigger me to go to this room and try to fix it? Or the one of my other favorite ones is, well, you can reach it from anywhere on the cloud. Okay, well, we're in a weird situation. Maybe some integrator, that's cool, but we're in a situation where I can anyway because of a thing called the VPN.
Yeah.
Right? And I can reach anything on my network anytime I want, no matter what, from any device that I own.
Right.
I'm done. So I don't need your cloud
certified.
system. Now, there are some things, to Mark's credit, that I wish, some of the data aggregation, like Chris said, I want to know some of these trends. It's like, yeah, we're seeing a Grandmaster clock go stupid every day at 2, because you have that one instructor that walks in, first thing they do is hit the power button, right? And
That's how I know it's going to work.
well, yeah, I got to guarantee it's going to
And
work for
reboot
myself.
everything.
Yeah, it's great. But
People are listening. They're hearing it. They're taking notes. Must be able to push the power button. Okay.
then
Taking
always
notes.
comes that answer of like, well, now what is the worth to me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got to give me a really big package of a good argument for me to even start considering a worth. Here's the deal: I haven't owned one of the on-prem services from
Yeah.
any of those. Well, until GVE said, "Oh, well, we'll give it to you for free." Great. Now you're talking my price, and we started
Yeah.
setting it up, and then it turned out to be red light, green light, and we're like, "Well, this
Cool.
doesn't really solve the
It
problem."
was
It
And
not
adds
needed.
work.
And
it adds
lamp
work
hours.
to you.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and I could track all of
added-
the lamp hours on my laser projectors. That was really cool too.
That's
But
useful.
that was actually probably more actionable than you'd thought, though. Like,
Yeah.
that's probably sometimes the only predictive data we have of usage in a space. I'm not saying it's the only, but like that, oftentimes, what's the limiting factor? If your projector doesn't work, does your room work? Probably not. I mean, if it's down, and so it's giving you some life expectancy. And I think
Yeah.
we want to see some of that predictive piece into those data streams. But I think
12.
way too many clouds, way too much fog.
And I have to be completely honest. Like I have GVE running here. I see value in that more so than Jamie does, apparently. But I
need to
have
call him and tell him
never
that. Hey, get value.
seen until Chris explained that use case. I was having a real hard time
did I say?
understanding the push for the cloud-based.
Should probably write this
system.
down.
And so, like, when he explained that, I was like, yeah, everything on the same cloud, so you can see the bigger picture of that. That makes sense.
Yes.
There is value
Everything on
in
the
that.
same cloud.
Unless you're doing that, I'm not paying for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I need everything.
Not, all of it, right? It's like if you can't get all of it, you don't want any of it.
So
Even your
that's
network
what-
islands. You
That's
want your
what's
network islands on
intriguing
there?
about. That's what's intriguing about.
How you gonna do that?
Well,
I'll
I don't
figure it
have
out.
that problem.
VP.
But
Larry, how are we gonna?
Man,
I'll figure it out.
He'll figure it out. He'll get there.
He'll just put
wireless
it-
link.
just put a POTS line to every one of them. He's
NAT.
got
Just
it.
gonna
Seriously?
do it through
Dials.
NAT. He's
I
just
got
gonna
dial-up
translate it at
modems
the edge
all
and
over
go.
campus.
Yeah. And so
But
Cell
yeah, that's why
service.
that OpenAV cloud things
It's
sounds
intriguing,
good because
right?
if
Right.
they can start collating all of this information from all the different manufacturers, now we have that one system.
it's always people who work in like data analytics, they always will dirty data and aligning it and getting it all.
Yep.
That's what this is. It's the same problem, right? And so we have all these different avenues of streams coming in, and they're not the same languages, and the velocity is different. How are we going to make any sense of this mess? It's just giving it a giant spreadsheet of just garbage, right? How are you going to move this down? So getting it aligned in some way, but we're at that point where we haven't seen the value proposition yet, right? We know we have the data streams. We know we can move all this stuff around. We haven't seen it done in a way yet that's been articulated to us in the industry where we're seeing the ability for us to take something off of our plates.
Again, I think
Yes.
this goes
It has
back
to take something off of
Yeah.
our plates.
It has to be low over. I
Right.
want to make it low overhead. It might be high overhead at first.
Right.
Yeah.
Right away,
So-
I might have to. It's going to take me a lot
I
of
think
work.
the
But
market
long
is in the
term,
way.
I don't want to think about the damn thing. It just does what it's supposed to do.
Well, the market's still testing it. It's trying to find out what the value is. Remember, that's
Every
the whole
manufacturer
conversation here. Is that
wants
they
you
don't
to
know
buy-
what the value is. Right?
Every manufacturer wants you to buy their product and their ecosystem, and
Yeah.
until that goes away, this is going to be a problem.
Right, and it's all every manufacturer of moving towards their ultimate dream of just becoming a software company, where they're all moving that way. This is that piece, right? How do we kind of get? They're all tiptoeing in it. They all know how to market this and get it to a point where it can be sold, especially in higher ed. We're back here fighting them like, nope, we're not doing it, right? And so, how do you start to move on that? And then but we have to articulate to them what would make it of value. And we could say to our blue in the face, I can do that now, I can do that, I can do that now, I can do that now. But we're not communicating, well, how would this become of value? What is it that you need it to do for you to free up your time so it can start to work as a partner, so it can be a part of your strategic decision-making process. Red light, green lights, that's nice and it gets us there, but we need that predictive piece. And I think this is where it starts to tiptoe into that AI conversation.
Well, and I had the conversation also where, I mean, and it's well known that a lot of my stuff is on the enterprise network, and it could have access to the
I
cloud.
think
It
arguably
needs-
of all of us, you're probably the most aligned to be able to do this.
I could give it access to the cloud when I want, but here's the thing:
You like your
there
job.
there's some restrictions in what I'm going to give access to the. Man, I didn't hear any of that.
Don't worry.
Because you're
We
busy
got it.
yapping. Yeah, that's why.
I was talking, and then it got ducked, and screw you. There. Does
Go
that
back and
cover
listen
whole
to the
thing?
show.
Oh, we're on your side, Jamie.
I'm going to give you the Gen
So,
X
yes,
finger wave.
You're ready to go
But-
on this, but you're not.
So, but I had that conversation. I'm like, okay, look, I don't really want to give every single AV piece of gear access to the cloud and be pointed out to somebody else's server somewhere. Whether that's OpenAV,
Why
whatever,
not?
whoever's
Why not?
it is.
Why not? Why?
Well, it goes
Why?
back to your conversation earlier about the security piece for every single piece of gear. All right.
Thank you.
There. So I asked the question to several of these manufacturers who want to sell me this cloud service. I said, well, I need an on-prem thing, but here's the deal. It can't be your box.
Right.
When I'm now talking to my data warehouse, they want to put it in their own Windows virtual server system or whatever they're using, and they want to be able to maintain that image and be able to manipulate that data. So I need yours to to Mark's point, be a software solution that then has a tunnel out to your cloud service. But it's basically an on-prem aggregator that talks out. And they're like, no, you can just buy our box. No.
No. Different manufacturers are approaching it different ways.
But many of them had that exact same response.
Yeah,
And then
here,
when you
that's
say-
the response.
take this Trojan horse and put it on your network for me.
Yeah, when you say, and this is where I think higher ed is a little unique because we are, in most cases, we are research institutions. And as part of that, we have
The security is
we have
ridiculous.
enterprise grade data centers on campus, and an entire
And-
team who runs them. Why can't I leverage all of that
Yes.
existing infrastructure, which will cost me zero,
And
but
you
instead,
It doesn't
some-
cost me-
Yeah, okay, go.
some can, and just in the estimate there may be cost. Okay, whatever.
There's cost.
But
Labor.
but
It's not my labor.
they
I'll let
all
you
want
work
to
it.
start
Go.
with buy
Okay.
either this random repurposed Raspberry Pi Sketcho box, or
Hey,
if it's if it's a company that makes their own processors already, they'll be like, just take one of our existing ones and we load a different
Sketcho
image on it,
box.
whatever.
I like that. That's a new
The
ad.
challenge with that is
Gotta get that
none
new
of
ad
those
in.
are going to fly to put that on
not
our
gonna get through your
enterprise
security
grade
operations center,
network
no.
in a data center
Yes.
to pass that. So.
but and I think
Yeah.
that and we've been beating that drum when because I've had the conversations. I hope you all have when they come here and say, "Hey, Jamie, I have this widget, and you're going to have all this glorious cloud precipitation, and all you need to do is just take this thing." Your job is to say, "That doesn't seem like it's very security safe, Mr. Tronesis." Like,
Or Mrs.
yeah, Mr. and Mrs.
And I get pushback. Like, you say things like that, and they're like, well, no, this is how it's done. No, it's not. Stop.
But and that's where you have to come to this. That's where you've heard us talk about the heck that those documents. It can't be from you. You need to bring in your own briefcase person who comes to the table and says, "And here's why we cannot do this," and have that more mature level of conversation. This is not about the thing. This is about the policy and the enterprise and all of that in the security part, right? And these are just the hurdles to get there. And as we discuss it, we all have to be able to walk through that. And I think that, going back to the original thing, I think that's some of the aspirational hope that we see in the open AV thing is that they can address the security side and have a common cadence of updates and standards roll across that. I hope.
Great.
It is
I
a
hope so.
uphill battle. I get
It's
it.
a big
Yes.
lift, man.
Right.
That's
we cannot give up. We have to keep fighting.
most manufacturers would have to change their entire business structure to do that.
But I think this all goes back to Mark's point of like, we have what do we tell them we want?
Right.
And then when you do, what are they going to do?
I think everybody wants to get there.
Yeah.
We don't know how to make it another thing that we're paying for because none of us have increasing budgets. Chris, I'm going to put you aside because you have some secret Wild
He's got
West
Wyoming
money, out
money.
there. And so
I just took everyone's money.
yeah, exactly.
Great.
So
The money bin is
how
almost
do
done.
you-
14
what
stories
would be?
tall.
So let's pretend we have a system that's doing the things. The things are connected. It's pointed there. It's secure. It meets all the SOC. It's got everything we want. It's HECVAT certified. It's working. We're getting predictive data. How are we going to use it? What are we going to do now with that to say, is it going to help me with forecasting? I would hope so. It should tell us kind of where we're going to go, where we're going to invest. These endpoints are seeing failures. I have service tickets assigned to it. I know where I'm seeing incidents increasing. I know where I'm having to provide resources from my organization to help these incidents. I know where I have the risk. Let's pretend we have all of that in place. How do you now value that? We're seeing
sounds
we're
like-
starting to see the part where it can start to help us make decisions. 'Cause that's all it is going to do. It's not going to do the thing for you. It's going to help us make decision about how we as leaders are going to deploy resources. What's it worth now? How do we value that as a service? And so it's a hard riddle to kind of solve because arguably you're probably all doing that at some level now. So what are you going to stop doing to then do this now?
Are we?
I think at some
Well,
level. I mean,
to some extent.
level.
So,
yeah.
for example, let me give a scenario. The hey, we need to update all the spaces in the engineering building, and then so you start planning. We've
Why? Why do you have to do that?
Got, hold
Chris?
on, let me get there.
Tell me why.
Because they're due.
we were
Let me get
told
there.
to.
That's the scenario.
That's the point.
It's
Yeah.
been 8 years. It's been 10 years. Whatever. We need to do all the rooms in the engineering building. They've got money set aside for it. We're going to do it. Oh, there's 26 rooms and 16 conference rooms. You start looking at that, and we just go based on one metric right now: age. Oh, those are 8 years old. I'll put new stuff in. It's time. But to your point, if I've got a system here, and yes, there are ways to do it now. I hear people yelling at their car stereos. But if I have a smarter system that can talk to all these different devices and say, yes, people do schedule those rooms. They do use those rooms as heavily. However, we notice that somebody goes in every day at 9:01 a.m. They turn on the system, and the only thing they're doing is they're playing audio. Or the motion sensor trips in, and then by 9:08 the motion sensor trips because no one has been in that room for that element. Whatever it is, you can start to pull a lot more of this data in and say, okay, we don't need to update all 40 rooms in the engineering building. We only need to update these 16 rooms, and then you
just the projectors or just the amplifiers.
So going back to why update something, I was just thinking about it. Red light, green light might work for us. Is it on? Then let it ride. It doesn't turn on anymore, or we got to replace it? So it's broke and.
But that's a valid point, though, Justin. I think this is not
replace when broke
going to work for every single institution, every size institution out there. You're going to have to be at least this tall to ride the ride, right? You have to get to that point where you're going to see the value to be able to shell out anything, because it's not going to be cheap, right? Unless you have some strategic partnership that's going to give you some evaluation, you're going to have some blah, blah, blah. And free is not free. So they all want to say we're going to give it to you for free. It's not. And so understanding like what is your savings through your time, your staff time, your resource time with this tool, and start to put dollars and cents around that.
So another thing that's been kind of bothering me about some of this discussion here lately too is in our
discussion, like
no. Well, in this discussion in our industry, one of the things that's been bothering me is in this era of mergers and acquisitions,
M&A,
is that service going to be available?
Buy it and shut it down.
Mm-hmm. That'll happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I put in my time. I put in my resources. I'm going to do this thing. Right. Awesome. What?
Mm-hmm.
And in our world, we also get we also have the thing where we signed a whole bunch of contracts for giant Zoom rooms licenses, a giant bundle of them. Came back and said, "Yeah, we're going to do Teams rooms instead."
Yes.
Well, but we've already built everything around the other thing. Yeah, but monetarily, it makes more sense in the strategic aspects of the university to go this way. How do we know? How do we trust that some of these manufacturers, some of the ones who are the strongest proponents of this, who are coming at us at the biggest, have already been acquired in the last year by some other institution? Where's that faith too? And so there's just that little bit of, great, you're selling me this today. What am I going to do? I can't just port your shit to somebody else's thing that we know of.
You can. And we will.
That's probably.
If it's an open API, you can.
Yes,
exactly. If it's open
just
AV.
export everything to a CSV. You'll be
CSV,
fine.
that's right. It's just
Yeah.
it's all in there.
Yeah.
Tapped, eliminated.
Yeah.
Right?
Should be great.
But I think
This
that's
should work out.
that's kind of the industry, right? In that it's going to be bumpy. It's going to be weird. And so the days of us, I'm putting this room in, I'm going to get 10 years out of this. Justin, don't worry about it.
15.
Yeah, those days are it's not going to be like that moving forward. Like, I don't think we're going to have that luxury. I think we're going to see more disruption and changes like this. We're going to make decisions that we feel really good about today, and in 1 year, we're going to get screwed on that.
You're definitely going to see those disruptions in a year because you're moving towards more commoditized IT-ish, PC-ish, appliance-based conference spaces, and that stuff craps out after a year.
It does.
Yeah. But, enjoy.
But to his thing, by moving towards that and moving towards a system, but he's got the back end of that is a company that's been around forever, right? Microsoft is there.
Yeah, but they change every 3 weeks, and it doesn't matter.
It still doesn't remember which window
but the point being is
that
this is a thing where they've built around it. It's not, we were purchased by Mercantech.
No, it's we just bought this other thing, so now you're going to have to use that.
Justin, that's Google. Google will buy something, stand it up, and then shut it down next week.
Google's more like that.
So, but that it makes me nervous a little bit too, because some of these companies, we all have known they've been purchased or are in the middle of acquisitions, and then they want to tell us they're going to deliver these products. You're like, wait a minute, are you?
But we're like extreme skeptics about all these things.
Our
bias is ridiculous because we've all been burned by this stuff, and it's important to tease that out, though.
I think we all know how the AV industry works and how money.
It is the loaded
it's the
up,
money.
jaded most bunch of people I've ever
Manufacturers,
seen.
manufacturer reps, integrators, consultants, all of those are barriers to what we're talking about here.
Well,
Especially
because they're all trying to
consultants.
sell boxes and get points,
Especially consultants.
right? And so
Yeah.
this is
And
a
I-
shift.
And I think when you say we're kind of jaded, it's not us, it's higher ed. Like the market they're trying to sell this to
Yeah.
has been burnt.
We have.
And it's going to have a hard time justifying.
But yet we're
the ex-
interested, right? That's the problem.
Interested, but
We are
at
very
the same time, we
interested.
see the total cost of ownership that it's going to take. And I don't see the value there yet.
Well, I think we all are extremely interested in it, and I won't speak for everybody. I know I am. I'm really interested in this angle. However, I think we all have to recognize that AV, it's like we just got some street cred in the network conversation. We are not willing to burn that right now in the name of this yet, because we don't want to look like fools yet,
Oh,
right?
are
so
you
we
kidding?
No.
I don't
I know.
know.
I'm
how-
with you. I just got
Yeah,
it all on
well-
the network.
You just got there, right? We
I don't
just
need
learned
a
about
cloud service
OSI and all
security
this shit
breach to
figured out.
screw that.
And so like we're not ready to be like doing these big bold things in like we don't have a lot of bandwidth to be wrong. And so we're going to be very cautious with how our solutions and our systems are going to play in this cloud domain because that's outside of our comfort zone right now.
I haven't
we're
even
just
got
not
there
right.
on the network yet. We have talked about
Except your digital signage.
Yeah. Which it should be.
No,
on the network.
yeah,
That's
not the
okay.
processors.
Wait,
yeah. But the digital signage players are connected
We got it.
to our network.
Gotcha.
good.
Like I don't know why that's a big deal.
So we're not.
I don't-
Let's not stay focused here.
It's over my head, y'all. I don't know. I'm just here.
So Larry, you say you're like kind of you're not necessarily on the value train here. You're not seeing it. It's not. Is there a price point for you where you're like, I would pay for that. I would pay that. And what would it be? Let's
Well-
pretend it's site license. Could you get involved with that on a yearly or 3-year or 5-year for that matter? Like what would it?
5 year.
See,
Whatever, I
when
don't
Chris explained it, I was starting to get interested, but the more you talk, the less interested I got.
Sorry, I'm doing a disservice to the entire fucking industry.
Because you were saying, okay, we can plan our updating rooms based on data from this. Well, that's great, but I can also look at my service tickets and understand what parts of what room. And so I already have that data, and I don't want my
That's
work.
one tiny piece of it.
That's
honestly.
one tiny thing, but that's like I don't want my replacement work dictated because man hours is the most expensive part to be
price.
variable. Like I have a staff, I need to plan appropriate work that I can get done based on that, and I need to plan that a year in advance.
Preach, Larry. Preach.
But
Preach.
wouldn't this tool give you additional insight to that process?
It would give me insight, but I'm not sure it gives me any more insight than I can already get based on like
But what if it could do it faster?
That's more labor.
I
upfront
still
probably.
think there's more effort that's going to be put into it from
Effort's
my
labor.
side
Yes.
than I think we're acknowledging at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
and-
There's absolutely
one
upfront
thing I want to
costs.
bring up that
yeah.
this concept of forecasting and being more nimble in our deployments and stuff. That's one aspect of what these things do, and we keep walking way past the predictive maintenance support sort of thing, which I think honestly that's where the real value is on day one. You get this stood up, for example, and because this has happened to me, we get a call that the ceiling mic isn't working. On the network, it's on. It's working fine. The processor can see it. Everything work. It's unmuted. What the hell? Oh, the data stream stopped. The Dante stream stopped. One of these systems could monitor that and say, hey, that Dante stream's been down for 5 seconds. I'm going to talk to the different device, the network switch or whatever, and bounce
Justin's
the
IP
PoE
rack.
off of that.
Yeah.
Bring that back up. I know, Larry, you can't do that because of network switches. But anyway, bring that
Let's pretend.
back
Let's
up.
pretend you can.
Say you
Yeah.
can. Say you can.
Kinda.
We can see the world. It's
I
there.
can do
and,
that.
and microphones
different,
reboot
but I
pretty
can do
quickly,
that.
come back on, and it's up and running in 60 seconds. It could do that automatically and then send me a report. Hey, I had to do this 3 times
I put a
today.
ticket in, had an incident, and I took
it
these
could do that
steps
too.
and remedied it.
We had to do this 3 times. There's 3 tickets on this. There's something going on with that mic or that network switch or that cable or something. But but that would how many tickets does that absolve of those little low hanging fruit things?
But
because
you have to put time to that. How much
Yes.
time is that now saving you? Because the time is going to be the money part, right? And so at what level do you want to see that level of agency in a product before you're going to actually believe that it's something
And I think,
worth investing
we're
in?
all talking the same thing here. Your upfront cost for this system, the total cost of ownership down the road is going to pay off. So if you adopt anything like this, don't expect to just install it and then it just runs, and then you're going to have to put in a lot of work year one, a little bit of work year two, maybe by year 4, year 5, you can start seeing results.
And if you want a good example on your campus, I'll give you a hint right now. Go talk to your network admin team. Talk to them about how they have their monitoring set up for their devices, most of which is through SNMP, and how long it took them to get that dialed in just the way they want. Justin, you're about dead on. It's about 3 years for them to be like, we can get it all online, then we mess with it, then we're getting false positives.
I know, yeah.
So after about 3 years, you've got that really dialed in, and now you know that's not a false positive, that's legit, whatever it is that goes on there, and that's where it really starts to pay off.
Right.
But
And I think that's why it gets tough in that budget model, right? Because we want to scale in, like take baby steps and build this thing out, but we're having to pay for the whole enchilada. We can't pay for that right now because we see the value, but we
money
can't
and
get that budget right now, and we don't have the time to deploy it. It's too much cost up front.
And I think that's what the turnoff of this. You get a year free. Well, it's going to take me a year just to get it online.
Yeah,
it's going to take me a year just to get it in line with projects, so I can start to think about it.
Yeah, and that's not even worth it to me. So let's do this. If it was, let's say it does kind of what we want. Does kind of what we want. So it's enterprise level, so not limited. Would you pay $10,000 a year for it?
Yeah, I'll pay that right now.
I don't know.
I think if it did what we were asking, unlimited enterprise, I would probably do $10,000 a year.
I think if you had it and you could quantify that I'm seeing this savings in manpower, women power, going out and doing this amount of tickets, and it's easily there, that $10,000 is an easy
You're
number to get to.
projecting. You're not driving that decision on data because the data doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, this thing
That's
is going
my
to do
point.
the
You
things
gotta
we're
convince.
asking, right? It's got a little bit of predictive maintenance.
Yeah,
because it's not going to be great right away. There's a certain level of AI is just not going to happen
$10,000
right
is 2
away.
projectors. I'll pay that on my replacement budget.
I don't see that as an astronomical number at all.
But if we
you don't like it as a per room, per widget,
per room, per device? No way. Screw that. I'm out.
Right.
No way.
Right. It's like you want
Jamie, you mentioned you have a new building coming online. As a new building coming online, you have unlimited money. So you could buy this with that. But then all of a sudden, that unlimited money isn't there
As long as you build a building once a year, then you're all right.
Let me finish. You guys know what I'm talking about. You have a giant frickin' budget for a new building. You could throw something like this in there, and then all of a sudden you have it. However, next year, that budget ain't there. And that's the university model. How many of our projects are paid for out of one-time funds, special funds?
This can't be. This cannot be in your operational fund. This has to be more in your like central software fund.
This has to get moved to the IT campus-wide enterprise-grade, just service provider.
At that point, $10,000 is like nothing.
Yes,
exactly. And that's I started.
But to the manufacturers listening, it's very expensive. We can only spend.
Don't hear what I'm not saying.
But I think, Chris, your point being is that this now gets punted to a different group.
Yes.
It gets punted to a different
This is what I'm talking
software
about.
model.
Total cost of ownership for
And
it involves
we
more
don't
than
get
just
to
AV.
choose.
It does.
We get to suggest it. We get to make the case, and now that case has got to be really solid because you're using different resources.
But that's the framing of the
room.
That's the framing of the conversation. You have to be able to quantify that down because of this integration, the way this works. Here's how we're seeing it. And this is how it's making myself, my org, our group make these decisions and be way more actionable to deliver the outcomes. You have to make that whole correlation.
It may come out of my everyday maintenance repair budget, right? Fine. Okay, 10, 15 grand. Like to Chris's point, that's a couple of projectors. We can handle this. But I still have to pay this other department to just really manhandle it because I'm not going to do it. I'll do the everyday data entry, but I'm not spinning up the data center
that for
VM.
Free.
I'm not.
Here you had only if it's left-handed.
Only if it's left-handed. I don't do righties, but I have to. I have to pay a service fee for that
called
too.
The stranger. Yes. Thank you, Justin. We were all thinking. Yes. And now that's the show.
That's not worth 10 grand.
I didn't say it. Jamie said it.
Wow. Okay. Do you all have like
Where was I
communication
going?
allowances?
A what?
Did you have a
I'm only
communication
allowed to make
allowance,
2 phone
for your,
calls a week.
your cell phone cost or anything like that? Is it reimbursed
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
universities?
Yes.
Occasionally.
What?
We call it a phone stipend here, Mark.
Yes,
What?
different universities will call it different things. And so,
They took
It's like
that away.
$12.
right, that cell phone.
I have no such thing.
Some schools have some, but this is a similar tool. Gives you connected to your things and all that stuff, and it allows you to kind of work from anywhere. And all that stuff. And there's money and cost associated with that capability that you're bringing to the table. And the university has value, and it is quantifying that and giving people that back. So, is this not a similar thing? This is a tool that I'm using for my work that's allowing me to be more productive and be more valuable to the organization.
That's
should
a
the
hard
core
sell.
universities
It's
see
a hard
value
sell.
in that?
It's a
See,
tool.
the more you talk, the more I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Don't
Shut
say
up,
my
Mark.
funny moment. I'm sorry.
Runs off and
But-
barks up a different tree.
But I think what I'm trying to tease out here is that I don't think this is like your nut to crack here. I think this is a larger organizational piece that needs to sit there just as your ticketing service is, that you're not paying for the ticketing service.
it is and it isn't. Like, we're going through a software audit right now where any redundant software gets flagged and you have to fight for it. Like,
You don't need no Photoshop. Here's GIMP.
well,
Word? You
I
don't need
think
Word.
The fact that there
Desktops.
are some redundancies within this in our ticketing system, and so I can articulate why that's not the same, but I think that is a fight we're going to have because AI is going to be built into our ticketing system that if a room continues to have issues, it's going to start flagging those.
No, you just silence the AI part on that.
But if that AI is talking to this AI and they can figure out how to actually
Where this
it
AI,
and
Now
have
we got
agencies.
Skynet. They're launching missiles.
Okay.
There we go. We solved it. So we hate per room, we hate per device. We want
Yes.
flat fee, and it needs to be totally mature, ready to go. AI is not ready for prime time yet, and when you
On-prem.
come back later, is that where
Well,
you're?
does it have to?
Well, I
so
don't
the-
think totally mature. I don't, but it needs to have a roadmap,
Okay, and
and we need to have some.
it's got to be secure.
It needs security,
that-
and then
no,
that
it's
again that
The
openness.
endpoint secure. That's not that software problem. That's
Okay, but are we closer today or further away? Do you think? Or have we changed at all? Are we exactly where we've always been?
I would
I
say
think-
if I could speak for everybody, I think we
Oh, by all
all
means.
want this, but we don't know how to set it up the right way.
yes.
I
Agreed.
think we're limited based upon what manufacturers give us.
See the first segment.
Also agreed.
Yes.
I agree
like,
with both. I think that they want us to buy in. We want to buy in, but they're not hitting the mark, and we don't really know what our mark is.
And our
I don't
price
think
tag
it's
doesn't align
here.
with what.
Oh
they're
yeah,
willing.
and their pricing scheme is out of their.
Yeah, the
out of-
pricing is off, but I don't think it's the software's. I don't think it's that problem. Kind of like that Orocast Bluetooth problem. Like they're making this stuff, but the consumer devices aren't turned on yet. It's the manufacturers aren't turning on to this new way of thinking with everything being on the enterprise network. Because if you're on the enterprise network, you should be releasing continuous updates to make sure everything's secure and adhering to ITIL. I'm just
One of my
that's a lot of
concerns-
work.
One of my
Gonna get me
concerns
in
about
trouble.
these is all of the service providers who are building these sorts of systems are talking primarily to other service providers, integrators, managed service providers, et cetera, who provide like a what would you call it, a per diem type support sort of model.
That's software.
Well, hell yeah,
service.
for $60 a month, we will support all your stuff. So they just add that $12 fee
Yeah.
on top of that.
Yep.
And that, from a corporate standpoint, from an institutional standpoint, from a university standpoint, that doesn't fly. We just can't do it that
Doesn't
way.
scale
so
that
you
way.
need,
Yeah.
right? You need a model that's like, we're going to go land this on your campus, and it will cost you $16,000 a year for everything. And when you cross a certain threshold, maybe then we'll renegotiate after 3 years or whatever. But
Yep.
it has to be that sort of thing because it has to be some sort of campus-wide, enterprise-grade.
It feels more like
service
Zoom
provided
and
to campus.
Teams and
Yes.
like all of that level
And
of
Office
software
stuff,
service, like in like that level of thing. And so it's you usually have a digital tools or a platform group that kind of manages those pieces on your campus. Like this feels more aligned with that model than it does like our widgets and boxes.
Yeah, it basically has to sit where ServiceNow, Team Dynamics, what's the other PeopleSoft, whatever those things are.
Banner.
Banner. It has to live where those live.
Core,
That's
yeah.
where this has to be. And please don't start building stuff into yours to try to replace that one. It's just it's not going to fly. So,
it's a core service, and like it has to be aligned with that, and so that it's a different budget model. So,
all right, we've
so
gone
you're
on
all
way
in,
too
huh?
long.
Yeah,
we've gone on way too long here. We need to
How
take a
long?
break. So
Hour.
I don't know if there's a
9
thing up
minutes?
there somewhere. So we do have an internal solution to solve all these problems because we end up with multiple cloud services.
fog.
And this one new service will aggregate all of those services. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
So we'll hear about that, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up the show.
Are you tired of juggling between multiple screens and consoles just to get a grasp of your digital empire and keep an eye on all your AV devices? Introducing the game changer you've been waiting for, the All-in-One Console by Independent Amalgamated. A single pane of glass that watches over all your platforms, collating reports and usage details with the precision of a digital maestro. But here's the kicker. It's not some fancy AI doing the heavy lifting. This is AL. That's right, a man named Al.
That's right, folks. I'm Al, your digital sidekick. I manually sift through the data, crunch those numbers, and serve you with the juiciest insights on a silver platter.
With the All-in-One Console, bid farewell to the days of drowning in a sea of screens. Al here ensures you've got everything you need right at your fingertips. Worried about compatibility issues? Fear not. Al's got your back, seamlessly integrating with all your existing platforms.
Whether it's device uptime, routed signals, network traffic, or meeting schedules, I've got it covered.
So why waste time wrestling with multiple consoles when you can have the simplicity and efficiency of the All-in-One Console? Upgrade your digital game today. Visit our website now and let Al be your digital guru. Independent Amalgamated's All-in-One Console. Simplifying complexity, Al at once.
I'd pay for that.
Al does great work.
So dumb.
I would pay out of my pocket about $5.
That's
$5.
Hates that commercial.
he hates all of them. That's the whole point. We only want commercials that Justin hates.
All right, so for our second topic today, oops, hold on.
Press the button.
This
Short
feels
and
like
sweet.
topic 7.
Well, we can keep it short. Short and
Grueling extra innings today.
We pitch this as how do we determine when it's time to remove outdated or unused features? When do we cut that cord?
When
Yes,
it's
there are
broke.
people out there. Well, there's that. There's people out there still installing Blu-ray players in all of their rooms.
Hey.
or whatever, or
Wait, if you're doing that, right into the show, we need to talk.
we need to find out where your time machine is.
I think
because-
Jamie's doing that.
Jamie.
No, if you have some weird something where I'm not casting judgment, if there's some capability
Wow,
or
I
device
feel attacked.
that you have to put in your rooms and you're like, I feel like it's weird, or you're wondering why you're still doing it, write in. I want to know, like, what is the weirdest
Campus
standard
cable
thing you
receiver or
have?
something like
Yeah,
that?
well, yeah, what's out there?
Wireless
What
sharing devices.
What unicorn thing you have to deploy?
Ouch.
Just
Go for it. All right.
Air
we do offer
media.
a free service. We will come to your campus. We will collect all of your wireless sharing appliances. We will drive them to the nearest waterway and dump them in. You're
I
welcome.
have to do a building
It's a
with
dam
those.
that we're building. The core is all the old 323 codecs.
Or take
is
them
the
to
base.
Little League and pitch them.
I really don't
All right,
want to.
kids, hit this.
Go. Okay, Chris. What do we do?
Call your local minor league baseball team and see if you can do a free wireless appliance night and just give them away.
Just
Full
hand
of-
them out at the door.
At the door.
Don't work
stand
just
there.
as good at home as they do in the university.
Anyway,
better
so
at-
yeah,
yeah.
what is our process for that? Are we looking at, to our earlier conversation, are we looking at legitimate, detailed utilization numbers, running the reports and seeing that people haven't pushed that button that says doc cam very often, or are we going kind of seat of our pants, or what's our
yeah.
process?
Justin,
Yeah.
I'm curious about your process.
So I'm in the middle of this shit right now, and it's a storm. I mean, it's not. I think the biggest problem is that people think that all wireless acts like AirPlay. And when people say, I want to present wirelessly, in their head, it's a button press and it magically shows up. And that's what they're after.
That's
So
how it works.
I'm designing a building on campus.
If it doesn't
right
work
now.
that way, don't do it.
And well, I mean,
That's it. If it doesn't work that way, don't do it.
and none of them do. So
Then
therefore,
don't do it.
But they're
Problem
saying,
solved.
well, we need that, and I said, well, exactly why? Let's dive deep into why.
Tease it out.
Like, are they just don't like carrying adapters? Do they think it's too long to plug a cable in? It takes too much time.
There's not a
do you
cloud
think
now.
that doing the wireless thing is easy, and it's the adapter thing? And everybody has different laptops, so that's their reasoning. They just don't like to plug in because then they have to carry adapter. Okay. And
All for not wanting to plug things in.
I said, here's what
I'm
we're going to
there.
do.
I'm with you on that. I don't like plugging things in.
So
That's
here's
me.
what I'm doing. I said, now, usually, and I brought this up, I've talked about this on the show. I said, usually when somebody asks me that, I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll throw you some widget, some random ass thing. We'll let you try it out. If you hate it, then we'll talk
Try
about
this.
why.
Why do you
And
do that?
because they're all terrible. So no matter what you pick, they're all bad.
You're basically predicting the failure.
Yes, this is like
therefore
self-fulfilling
it's not going to
prophecy.
have
I'm
to
telling
happen.
them like,
You
hey,
are
have
not a
this.
great
It's going to
sales
fail
guy.
you. And so that works because it's just one mistake. Now I've got 30 rooms, and so we had to sit the
carefully
client down.
choosing and deploying your mistakes
Yeah. So I said, okay, here's
in
what
an
we're
effort
going to
to
do.
not deploy some new capability.
Yeah. So here's what
Yeah.
we're going to do.
I feel like that's the inverse of the question, but okay.
No, just let me finish. So we talked to the clients. I said, look, we need to get you a few appliances in front of you, and you need to give us feedback on what you hate about them, because you're going to hate everything about them. And so we need to set some expectations here
I would
that
object if we were in a court. I'd be like, no, you're leading the witness. You can't do that.
It's like running a restaurant. This tastes like shit. Eat up.
No, it's which of
Worst
these
sales
tastes
guy
most like
ever,
shit.
man.
Okay. Anyway,
I have a goal. I have a goal. We're on our way
trying
to our
get-
goal.
You're soliciting feedback about a product and an
I'm
experience.
not making any of this up, by the way.
No,
this
no,
this
you
conversation
can't make this kind of
literally
shit up.
happened-
No,
That's
yeah.
why.
This literally happened yesterday. And so they were like, that's a great idea. Because I said, I don't want to pick something out that we all look online and it's like, yeah, let's go with
They're all
that.
perfect online.
And all of a sudden we deploy them, and now we made 30 mistakes because you all hate them
Only one
because
mistake.
it's
30 times.
30 times, right?
Unless you're
So-
Elon Musk, and he probably has 30 mistakes running around out there.
We're going to give them, I don't know what I'm going to pick yet. I might throw an AirTame at them, maybe a VIA, maybe, I don't think I'm going to do
What
Barco.
if you didn't do any of that?
Do click
not
share.
do
That's
VIA.
the
I'm
one
not
that
gonna
is
do
a
click share.
one-button solution.
I used to be a
They
fan
don't like
of VIA.
adapters and plugging things in the laptop thing. So I'm like, well, I don't know what to do here. All I know is just give them what's available and let them. They love. This is the same building that has a bunch of Apple TVs that are on our managed solution, and they love that. But now they have more PC people. Now they're saying we need something different. I'm like, oh crap. So I don't
Why
know.
don't they just use software on the PC to share to the Apple
Yeah.
TVs?
Yeah, you could do that.
If you've got the magic of Apple TV working on your enterprise, then
Yeah.
why
wouldn't you?
go somewhere else?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're not. We don't have the images to. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
So this
I
is
can't
a
force.
fledgling capability that's like you're exploring about spinning up this newfangled
The
wireless
problem
thing.
is it's everybody's individual laptops that are connecting to this Apple TV. So that software would have to be on and supporting. I don't know. It's something to discuss with them.
Put a QR code on the displays and say
They don't want. We've suggested the Zoom thing. Like, hey, just bring up. Even if you don't have cameras or mics in the room, you just bring
I'm
up
not
Zoom.
logging into Zoom.
Share.
Are you kidding me?
That so
I know,
I
I
said,
know
okay,
the story.
great. You hate that process? Oh, you're really gonna hate this shit. So that's kind of the like Zoom is your best option, other than Apple TV,
You hate
because
that?
this
Hold
other
my beer.
stuff.
You will fucking hate.
Yeah, let's go.
Guaranteed. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm setting expectations. You know how I am. I really have to set expectations correctly because of the lack of money on our campus, and we want to spend the money correctly on the right tool for the right job. That's the only way I know how to do this is put some of these in front of the clients. We hate all three of these. I know.
Here's one more.
Let me go buy 3 more. I hate these too. Okay, now we're getting
Because
somewhere.
they're all exactly the same.
now we're getting
All right.
somewhere.
All right.
That's my
Something tells me
story
we
on.
we didn't actually answer the question.
We did not answer this question.
No,
That was
this is
one
my
version.
journey, and this
Yeah,
is where
this
I
is-
am in current journey. Is but yeah.
So let's pretend maybe Chris, you had some of these appliances. How do you determine it's time to maybe not do that?
Not to play more appliances.
When you're saying, you know what, this version of this capability either cannot be delivered this way or we need to shift it and get
Do
rid of
any of you
deprecate
actually have analytics on this?
We did.
We had some on one
did.
No,
player. and
today.
it was-
Do you have analytics on
no.
this?
Yeah.
So yes, I
do.
can tell you the analytics right
Okay.
now for how many wireless sharing appliances are used in my learning spaces is 0.
That's real life analytics.
That is real life.
If
right
you
now.
logged into your cloud AV, you'd get that.
Flatline 0.
Because mine's
because
all
you don't have 'em?
anecdotal.
Because what happened was they put all the students in their own ACL
they couldn't
managed
get to it
bucket,
anymore.
and they couldn't get to it anymore. And
Yeah,
now
we're having that problem,
suddenly,
Yeah.
Another reason.
but the good news was we had and we didn't fight it because I come from a previous institution where we did a similar thing. We have the Zoom or Team share. It's already on that computer in the room and on your computer and on your phone. So just use freaking that. And people are like, oh, okay.
Well, that was a great idea until they started using it. It's like, this is hard.
Is it though? There's
Well,
a button
it's-
that says share.
I mean, there's harder ways. Let's explore those. Oh, it sucks driving to California. I don't know. Ride a horse. How bad does that suck? Let's try that. Right? And then they're like, oh, well, car's not so bad. Yeah. Let's go back to the Zoom thing. Everybody gets what they want.
So let me ask this question, Mark. I think
Uh-huh.
you were getting to. What if we stay away from wireless sharing appliances, which we all universally agree are fantastic, and the first thing we want in every one of our spaces?
Build
If we move past that, non-wireless sharing appliances, how
Other
do we
stuff.
determine when it's
how do
time
you
to cut
determine?
that? Larry, did you just raise your hand?
I did because
been trying to talk for the
Blu-ray,
last hour.
physical media.
Here we
Stop
go.
it. Stop.
What?
Why?
Before
No,
I
it
took
hurts.
them out, I had my GVE see how often and for what
Yeah.
length of time that button was selected on every room I was about
6
to take
seconds
it out
because
of.
they hit the wrong one.
It was basically when my team was
I
testing
can't
the
get out of
rooms.
this page.
Oh,
It was selected. When they weren't
Yeah.
testing the rooms,
that's a
never
good
got
point.
used.
that has skewed so many of our metrics because the students go in and check everything, and like they use that Blu-ray player once a
Every
week. And you're like,
day.
no.
Yes.
Well, that's tested once a week.
No,
Yes.
I was a firm believer in having that available, and no, but it's anecdotal. We don't.
But
ever
you're
get
still doing
tickets.
it?
Do any of you
Jamie?
engage
No,
with your
we-
like teaching and
only in
learning
certain
groups
spaces.
for any of these types of decisions?
Yeah, all the time. I take stuff over there all the time. Like here's some whiteboard cameras, or here's this and that,
Right.
and they to get their
I
response.
started to. We had a big shift in ours, and we haven't kind of got a new relationship yet.
Sounds
said
We had a
that
bunch
very-
of retirees.
Okay,
We had a bunch of people
let it
retired,
ride,
so
yeah.
there's a whole new thing. No new relationships.
swipe left or right. I don't know.
So
I feel like
I
that's
do
a
want to say
song.
there's one other way to when it's time to make that determination to let things go, and that's when whatever device, box, whatever that thing is talking to, could be a switcher, could be a transmitter, could be an encoder, whatever that is.
Like
when
makes
it
a noise?
No, when it changes its port layout because you've got a new one or the next one you're specing, and all of a sudden you're short one port or it's got this different type of
Gotta
port
go.
or whatever. Sometimes that helps make the argument as to why you can't have device number 7 on there. So
There's another option too. Like if you just remove the button from the button panel or
Cut
the
it off.
how
If
long it
nobody
takes?
calls in.
if
and
nobody
asks,
calls in
yeah.
the semester, it's
Yeah.
gone.
No news is good news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the things that was telling for us
Cut
is
that
we had
button
touch
off.
panels start to die, so we replaced them with buttons. Well, the buttons don't have the transport controls for the DVD player or the Blu-ray player, and not one single request for a remote, not one single request for the how do you eject. So it's like, okay, so my pride's hurt a little bit, but it's time
Uh-huh.
because it
By
is.
the way-
It's time, and sometimes that stuff's got to go.
So speaking of transport controls, first of all, stop doing that ever because that's aggravating.
have
The
play and
cousin
stop?
of that is all of the camera controls to include presets and all that.
No,
Nobody wants
provide
that.
only presets. Don't
Yeah,
give
no, I'm not. I'm
controls.
saying you don't need all the extra directional buttons and all the everything.
It says
that you
focus,
do not.
Mark. I want the focus commands there. Yeah, just because the module has it in
So
there, don't put it on there.
you
But-
don't provide any transport controls.
No, fuck that.
So how do
I
they
do.
start a movie?
Yeah.
They don't because
don't
it's in
have
my
Blu-ray
campus.
They're not
not your
using
campus.
it.
Yeah.
They go to Netflix
If it's
like a
there,
normal
it
human.
needs it.
Okay,
But they're not
So-
using it.
This is how I do it for spaces, because we do have some people who continue to request Blu-ray, DVD, etc.
I give them one.
Give them one. Here's a unit. Take it with you to class.
Or I will send them a link to CDW, B&H, Amazon.
buy
Here's
a
the cheapy
$25
Sony
one.
Yeah, here's the cheapy one. There's an HDMI connection on the top in all the classrooms. Plug it into that, and now they have their own remote. So
If you want to see an
there's the
instructor
transfer controls.
find their stuff on the web fast, just hand them a Blu-ray player and say, "You're more than welcome to take this to the class with you and plug it in."
Well, no, it's a lot of them.
They
because
will find
show
it on
up with
YouTube.
like their weird multi-region. This was only like released in
Then
1979,
provide
and then
that
once
player.
in Portugal.
Go back
So-
to France, buy your CCAM player or whatever,
No, if
and
they
then
ask
bring that
nice, I'll-
here and plug
we'll
it
get
up.
them one.
Yeah, we'll
make
get
it,
'em one.
We'll make it happen.
As I take Blu-ray
But it
players in
doesn't have to
particular,
be
Blu-rays,
everywhere.
DVD, as I take those out of rooms, I don't get rid of them. I now have a stack of 6 or 8 of them. When those calls come up, and the first 6 or 8 people to call, they get one for free. So it's like a radio show.
It becomes BYO.
Yeah.
Bring your own. Bring your own capabilities. So I mean, do you have a regular cadence where you at least discuss what belongs in a space and what doesn't belong in a space
Twice a
as far
year.
as a capability?
Twice a year, every 6 months. Yep.
With who?
Yeah.
With
I
my
would say-
team.
No, but you don't get any like input from other orgs, like maybe instructors who use the shit.
No.
Okay. Good to know.
All that they want is, can I plug in my computer or use the one that's in here? Can I get on Zoom, Canvas, YouTube, whatever? They all want the same thing. If someone wants something out of the ordinary, they're going to let me know.
Right. And so, I mean, that's what I think we're curious about is how do you check in and kind of get that voice to ensure that the standards and the hills we have been dying on are the correct hills to die on moving forward? Because if we don't know any different, we'll probably continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. So how do you break
We
that
just
cycle?
remove the service. I know that's what we did with cable TV across the campus and dorms. We were just like, you know what? Let's just turn it off and see how many people complain. Got like 4 calls in a year. Like, yeah,
They
there
were
you
all
go.
from Justin's employees.
So you're not using your
No.
$50,000 a year cloud connected data forecasting service to tell you who's using it.
Tell me whether or not they're
Identities
using that VCR.
Yeah.
No.
Surprised.
Um,
All right.
Real-
Well,
it's the real,
because we don't
real
have
will
one.
get ya.
We don't have that service.
it's coming soon.
It'd be nice.
And for those of you who do reach out and, we do surveys every year and we send all this stuff out and we meet with our Center for Teaching and Learning.
I've seen
and
schools that do that.
We engage with faculty and we have a committee who goes through all this stuff. First of all, you're lying. And I know you're lying because I've been at more universities than you have. And not a single one has ever done that to the level that they say they do.
You did.
No, they
Once.
didn't.
They did.
Once,
too. I was
15 years
part of
ago.
that.
Calling
I
people
was
out
part
now?
of those meetings.
Yeah, and he
You're talking
left.
about the
Still
That's how
Mosaic
good they
calendar,
were.
The
man.
Mosaic program, right? You're talking about Mosaic, right?
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was specific to active learning enabled spaces to work
But
on
I think
curriculum
they
and all
did
that.
it
I
for the
get
general
that.
inventory room as well.
No, they
Then they
didn't.
drove me out of town.
They did that. So there-
Because you know how I did. You know how I know they didn't do it because we just spec'd stuff wherever we wanted. So there you go.
$1 billion.
Oh, Larry, that raises a good question or a good point. The other way
Time
some of
over
these
there.
services and things, I know. The other way some of these services get removed from spaces is when the manufacturers change a license, change the software, they change something on their end, breaking
Yes.
it or making
Yes.
it unusable, thus helping you remove that from a space.
Somebody is
that-
out there screaming organizational change management.
That's
at
what
us right
happens.
now.
Like Kramer Vias for us. That's what's it's. They change the software. It's gone.
And for every one of you
didn't
who's now
work
yelling
anymore.
at your car stereo because you actually do it correctly, no, you don't. You're lying to yourself. But write in and prove me wrong.
Write into Chris and let him know how you're doing
Yeah,
it.
come on the show and yell at him. It's
Yes.
fun.
Because you're lying. I'll just right now say that. So,
Okay.
all right. Well,
well-
with having made that the enemies of everybody out there who's lying to themselves, we're gonna roll out.
We'll see you
That
next
was
week.
that was a really long bad show.
You want to take it back? We'll delete
Yeah.
like 30 minutes of it with that. Well, we've managed to ruin yet another episode of AV SuperFriends Off the Rails. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com. If you complain loud enough, we might just invite you on the show.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.